Afternoon or evening, it's OC Rita, and today I'm going to show you what a day looked like for me when I was a freshman at Wellesley. So I was really curious about what a day looked like for a student at Wellesley before I came here, and I know some of you are too, which is why we're making this video. I know we already covered what a day looks like for the OCs during the summer when they're working, but we haven't done anything like this, like a day in the life when we're taking classes. So I tried my best to show you guys what a day looked like. So in my first semester here, I chose to take courses that I would never ever take, I wouldn't even touch. And I think this is probably because shadow grading just gave me the opportunity to explore new areas and try new things, and I'm super grateful for it. So let me tell you about the courses I took during my freshman fall. We start off strong with Econ 101, Microeconomics. I am not an econ person. I just am not drawn to it. I don't think I would have ever taken it if it were not for shadow grading. It was something completely new to me, and I came into the course really nervous because a lot of other people had already taken the AP version. But I talked with my professor, and she knew that I had never taken econ before, and she was so nice. She checked in with me after lectures, making sure I had understood stuff, checking in if I had any questions, and it was so fun getting to learn something new and getting to explore a field that I probably won't ever get to explore again. Then I took CS 110, which is Computing in the Age of AI. It was so fascinating. I think it's one of the relatively new courses at Wellesley too. Other than AI and learning about how large language models work, we also learned 3 coding languages, which is really cool. And similar to econ, I would never go into CS. It's just not my thing. So getting the chance to explore it was really fun, and I have so many good memories from those 2 classes. I also took CLSC 110, which is Intro to Cognitive Science. This was good because as a prospective cog-sci and linguistics major, it really helped me solidify that, yeah, this is something I want to major in, and this is something that I want to look into. Finally, I took my mandatory first-year writing seminar in my first semester. I took Writing 144, which is What's in a Name. It was so fun. I love the class. I love my other classmates. I love the professor. It was just such a fun experience, and I'm so lucky because it was my top choice, and it was just so much fun. Really, I think everything about the course just made writing so much more fun and enticing to me. Other than these 4, I also took Term 1 Dorm and Class Crew, which was my PE. I had never taken any PEs like this. I'm just not a sporty person at all. And this PE was so nice because it was out in nature, and I got to enjoy the fresh air and be on the lake every other morning. Other than classes, I did a bunch of activities. Most notably, I was historian for the Slater International Student Organization, and I also was in Wellesley Upstage's show that they did in the spring, in February. It was really fun. Other than these 2, I have a bunch of other commitments, a lot of other things I do, but I'm not going to list them because we're not talking about them today. We're only talking about a Tuesday in the life of a freshman student at Wellesley. So yeah, this Tuesday I had crew, econ, computer science, and then executive board, e-board meeting for Slater, and then also a rehearsal for the show I was in. So yeah, that's what a Tuesday looked like for me. And let me show you. I lived in Bates my first year, so that's where our day begins. I started my day off with dorm and class crew at 8:30 a.m., so I usually got up at around 7:30. I grabbed a quick breakfast downstairs in the Bates dining hall, then walked to the boathouse where we meet. It is all the way across campus, so it is quite a long walk to the lake from east side, but it's a nice warm-up and got my muscles moving before we rowed. I really enjoy the lovely view. Just look at the pretty lake. In the fall sometimes, when there's no wind at all, the water looks like glass. It's absolutely stunning. And here we are, approaching where we meet. This is the Butler Boathouse. We usually have 2 boats out at once every morning, each sitting 8 students. Then we row for an hour. I absolutely love how many PEs take place in the nature. It was a highlight of my day. After crew, I'm usually fully awake and ready for the day. I walk to Lulu to grab a matcha or some snacks at the Emporium. Each semester, each student's one card is loaded with $75 in flex dollars, which we can spend at select locations on campus. Then, I walk all the way to Pendleton East for microeconomics. You can see me entering the academic quad here. It's usually full of students, so during the summer, it feels weirdly empty. Anyway, Pendleton houses the social science departments. I took the class from 11:20 to 12:35, and here's my classroom. Unfortunately, for the actual class part, you need to use your imagination. After econ, I head to Science Center because that's where my next class is. There's a little over an hour between econ and comp sci, so I liked getting some studying done. I really liked studying on the ground floor of Science Center. My favorite place to study, and I still come here all the time, is in front of these big glass windows overlooking the nature. You can probably find me here if I'm inside. And before my next class starts, I get some lunch at the Leaky Beaker, which is usually open, but is not because it's summer. Then I have my Computing in the Age of AI class. My classroom is located at the very end of this alley, called Whiteboard Alley. Can you guess why we call it that? After CS, I was finished with my classes for the day. Now, we need to get some studying done. I like coming to the Stone D Dining Hall. The ambiance is very nice, so this was my go-to after-class study spot. I also got dinner there, which is convenient. On Tuesdays, we had our weekly Slater International Student Organization Executive Board, or e-board meeting, in the Slater Center at 5 p.m. I was the historian last year. Our last stop of the day is at the Alumni Hall. Like I mentioned earlier, I was in Upstage's musical, so after my e-board meeting ended, I walked to the theater, which is, yet again, across campus. Also, I'm filming this all in the morning, but usually the sun would have started to set. And here we are. I had rehearsal at 6 p.m. on Tuesdays, and here's a quick sneak peek into the Ruth Nagel Jones Theater. Then we go all the way across campus and back to Bates. By the time I get back to my room, it's roughly 7 to 8 p.m., so I spend a few hours studying, catching up on work, and doing some self-care before going to bed at 11 p.m. And that's my day. So yeah, that was what a day looked like for me when I was a freshman at Wellesley. I hope this was at least a little bit informational, and I know it looked like there was a lot of walking going on, but I promise you it's not that bad. It is quite a big campus, but it's really nice to take a break in between classes, in between studying, and enjoy the fresh air and the nature that surrounds you. So I hope this gave you some insight. So, as always, let me know if you have any video ideas or if there's anything specific you want to see on the YouTube channel. And if you have a question, shoot us an email at orientation@wellesley.edu. Alrighty then, we're so excited to welcome you, and we can't wait to see you on campus very soon.